Hello and welcome back to another video. Today going to be talking about the new Forza Motorsport trailer and gameplay that was just shown in the Xbox and Bethesda showcase stream this evening. We were obviously expecting Horizon 5 Hot Wheels expansion, which they did reveal later in the stream, and there will be a video coming on that very soon. But for now, let's take a look at the trailer and the gameplay shown for the upcoming Forza Motorsport game. So, let's begin with the trailer, first off showing a Porsche GTE 911 and a 787B and an M8 GTE car, but we won't focus too much on the cars as quite a lot else was revealed that's kind of more important, even though it is essentially a car game. And as with the last Motorsport trailer, not a lot of the cars were new, so let's not worry too much about those, although it did focus mostly on the BMW M8 GT3E kind of style car. Firstly, I'm very excited to see Maple Valley returning, fan favourite that I kind of missed out of by not playing the earlier Forza Motorsport games, but that was quite heavily focused on during this trailer and kind of talk about the game, which means they're trying to make a sort of big deal about bringing these fan favourite tracks back, a bit like Gran Turismo did, so maybe they got that idea from there. But I really hope they bring back more than just one track, as Gran Turismo did. It does look stunning, particularly with these new graphics and everything, probably being a next-gen only game. We then see some muscle cars doing wheelies, which is potentially down to the new physics, which they talked about after the trailer, so we'll get onto that in a minute. They did also show the drift cars from the Horizon 5 pack, so either that means they're coming forward, or as a free pack, I mean, or it means there might be another pack we have to pay for again, or it's just free anyway. Not quite sure how that works, but potentially if we already bought the pack, that will be included when this comes out. They also give us a glimpse of some weather, so that's obviously a new feature, and some of the time of day changing was kind of shown as quite an obvious thing. Again, they did mention that as a feature later on, and then at the end of the trailer they actually gave us a release kind of window, so spring 2023. So towards the start of next year, which could potentially mean this comes out before Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, now that that's been delayed. So it'll be interesting to see which of these comes out first and whether they end up launching at a similar sort of time. It did also say it's for consoles, PC and cloud, but at this time it didn't specify whether it would be next gen or not. I'm assuming it will be by 2023, that's kind of the way everything's going, and some of the features they're kind of making a big deal out of will only work if it is next gen and PC only. So yeah, I do very much look forward to seeing them making the most of this next gen capabilities. So that was the trailer. Now let's move on to the gameplay they kind of showed and a bit of a talk they gave us about the game, kicking things off with them saying it's the most technically advanced game ever. So kicking things off with a big claim there, quite a lot to live up to, saying they have fully dynamic time of day, an all-new fundamental system for that, as I kind of hinted to when we looked at the trailer, and this and weather on every track, physically based lights, so they're kind of affected by what's going on, ambient temperatures which affect the track temperatures, which then affect your grip, so that's a much more complex feature than we've had in Forza before to simulate grip. They've had completely overhauled physics, which apparently have 48 times higher fidelity, whatever that means, but it sounds good. There is tyre and fuel wear, so you have to make pit stops, or you can make pit stops, so in certain campaign events I'm assuming that will be in there, and you can also probably set it if you're in online racing, which sounds brilliant. There are also multiple compounds of tyre, so not just like in traditional Forza where you upgrade and put tyres on. I'm guessing there will be softs, mediums, hards, intermediates, that sort of thing, rather than just the different kind of sport race, those kind of compounds. So that sounds really good, and new in-depth car building to much higher depth than there was before, so that sounds really, really good. They also showed off some car damage, which is much more realistic, shown down to individual scratches on the car apparently. So I don't know if that's dynamic, so depending on which bit you hit you'll get different scratches and you'll never quite get the same more than once. If that's true, that is pretty amazing, and it's good to see damage being improved again, because Forza's kind of let that down a bit. It used to be a lot better than it is now. There's going to be ray tracing all the time, live in gameplay, not just in Forza Vista like it is in Horizon 5, because they made a big deal about adding it and then said it's just in Forza Vista. This whole game will be in ray tracing, presumably because it's next gen only, and Horizon 5 was trying to sort of downgrade its graphics so that people could play on Xbox Ones. So it makes many materials look incredible: gold, carbon fiber, aluminum, whatever that is, and the world details as well are all new 3D material scans, so new levels of realism across the track, as well as the background and your cars and everything with the ray tracing. So all of those things will be reflected off your cars with the ray tracing, and it will look incredible. Even on the stream it looks amazing, and that's just at 1080p watching on YouTube. Obviously in game it will be much, much higher quality than that. And they're saying with the accuracy and beauty, the new time of day, damage, and ray tracing, it's going to make it a generational leap in immersion, which is another big claim, a bit like them saying it's the most technically advanced game ever. So let's hope it does live up to all of these great big claims they're making, and hopefully it will be a brilliant game, because the last few motorsports have been rather disappointing, so hopefully the delay means it will be more of a difference from the previous game, and from all the things they're saying, it does sound quite promising, so let's hope they do a good job when it finally comes out next year.